You see, I've been monitoring almost everything going on with the new iPhone 15 series lineup, and I must say I am extremely disappointed. I'm one of those few YouTubers you can actually trust. I know I'm new to the game, but I am not being sponsored by anyone, so I'll tell you the way it is. The base 15 and 15 Plus are the iPhones to absolutely go for if you want that battery life. Yeah, 60 Hz is something you can actually live with. At least the display has 2000 nits, so it's more outdoor friendly than before. Yeah, and the funny thing with 60 Hz is that those that use it on the Pro motion phones, when you turn on low power mode, it dials it down, and most of you end up turning on low power mode because it is very difficult to get a cool temperature and a long-lasting battery with 120 Hz and mobile data, unless you always have Wi-Fi. That's when you might get yourself some slack. But then, if you don't have Wi-Fi around and then you use mobile data, believe me, you're going to see some literally hot fun. Yeah, so let's talk about the structural integrity. Zach tested bending some iPhones. He bent the 15 Pro Max and it was quite shocking what happened. Barely even trying, he managed to obliterate the back glass of the phone. That's so-called strong matte back glass finish. But then the Pro actually has the more, should I say, rigid structure I expected from the titanium frames. Yeah, so if you want to enjoy that titanium, I think the Pro is the one you should go for, not the Pro Max. That's my personal advice. Yeah, although some people can't live with that screen size. And then the good thing with the aluminum base model and Plus is that they have more standard, like, how do I put it? You know, Apple has been using aluminum for almost forever, so like they have mastered basically how to structurally balance all parameters of the aluminum, so everything is structurally balanced. You hardly see problems. Yeah, so it's quite durable, and even the sides are looking less of a fingerprint magnet than the titanium. Yeah, so far so good. Only the natural titanium is a fingerprint resistance, or should I say semi-fingerprint resistance frame. The blue titanium and the other one are all fingerprint magnets. Now let's talk about the cameras. Actually very tricky this year because the base models, the 15 and 15 Plus, they are not as hardware on the paper, on the sheet specs as last year's 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. But then Apple did their, usual software magic to like tweak the new 15 and 15 Plus to produce better output than even the 14 Pro Max of last year. So if camera is one of your major focuses, I would recommend you even ditch the 14 Pro and Pro Max completely. Just get the 15 Plus. Or a basic 15 is like my best recommendation because it's $799 and then you get a much better camera than the 14 Pro Max. Yeah, I don't know how Apple did it, but they did it. And then don't forget, the base 15 and 15 Plus also shoot 24 megapixels by default. And then there is something called a 2x telephoto zoom on the wide angle camera. No telephoto, but Apple claims when you like split the pixels on the 48 megapixel sensor, you can get a 12 megapixel optical level quality telephoto. Yeah, that's something that, there'll be more talk about that as time goes on. Honestly, I want to know what you guys think, because I'm going to talk about the temperature now, and from what I've been hearing, the 15 Pro and Pro Max with their A17 Pro and 6-core GPU are capable of running Resident Evil and Assassin's Creed that are about to be released on the App Store exclusively for those models. Those phones are getting hot just by charging via USB-C. Yeah, USB-C, that's supposedly 2.0 cables in the box that comes with the device. So now, like, these screenshots you can see, someone reported getting over 100 degrees Fahrenheit just by charging the phone. And someone even claimed he's going to return his phone to Apple for a replacement. So it's that serious actually. It's not just something people can overlook. Most people have to put a case on their Pro Maxes because of how fragile it is, like from actual testing. So like, it's actually quite weird. Yeah. And the funny thing with USB 3 is that the Pro model supports USB 3, but then Apple brought a catch for that. They basically ship USB 2 cables in the box, and then they claim that overheating was caused by people using unauthentic cables. So if you're hoping to like rely on a USB 3 cable that you bought from an external or third-party manufacturer. Even if it's not necessarily MFI, Apple wants you to use that USB 2. So basically you are stuck with USB 2. So you're basically staying in the same boat. At least you are like 60% in the same boat with the base 15 and 15 Plus that still use USB 2. So if you are buying a 15 or 15 Plus, you shouldn't really feel left out. Most pro users that have to use the chargers or cables that came with the device are still going to be using USB 2 with you. So, and then on the displays, they all get 2000 nits peak brightness, 1600 HDR, and 1000 nits high brightness mode. So like all of them get across the board. So when you physically look at all four models, you shouldn't see much of a difference in vibrance. Yeah, they're all equally vibrant until you start to scroll and you see 60 Hz, 120 Hz promotion on and off, stuff like that. So I think for $300 or $200 less, depending on which one you get, you shouldn't really be that left out. Yeah, 60 Hz is something that most people can't live with, but then Apple had to scrape up something to make you want to buy the Pros. Besides, why would anyone buy a Pro if the base has 120 Hz? Apple knows that. I think that's it actually, yeah. That's basically the major parts of the dangers of the 15 series and the good parts actually. So yeah, I think that's it. See you guys in the next video. Tell me what you think about all this, and if you've got a 15 Pro or Pro Max, what's your experience with the temperature shenanigans going on? Yeah, I had it out.